Guys, Mr. H, question number 16 from the August 2025 Regent exam. We didn't do very well on this question, and it's mainly we didn't really do the exponent. We didn't go through the exponent properties as thoroughly as I would have liked. But you can use the feature of the calculator to kind of help you here, right? Now, normally, I've been saying that whenever you have expressions in the answer choices, expressions, no equal signs, no inequality signs, then you can usually store. But in this case, we have equations, but they have a bunch of variables in them, right? We can store and we can use this equal sign to determine if it's true or not. So look, so here's what I'm going to do. Let me move this over. I'm going to go to the main calculate screen right here. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to enter a number for A, for B, and X and Y, because they've got all of those. So the only thing I can't use is I don't want to use 0 or 1. So I'm going to say 2. I'm going to store that into the letter A. I'm going to take 3 and store that into the letter B. I'm going to take 4 and store that into the letter X. I'm going to take 5 and I'm going to store that into the letter Y. Boom. Now, once I've done that, I'm just going to run through each one of these answer choices, and I'm going to see which one gives me a true. Now, I'm going to check all of them, and hopefully there's only one that gives me a true. If there's more than one, I'm going to switch the numbers and try again. But let's go. So the very first one that we're going to do is the a to the third times a to the x equals a 3x. So let's do that. So we're going to do the hardest part is actually making, the hardest part is just making sure you enter the equations in right. So this is going to be a to the x. And then we're going to literally use the equal sign. And then we're going to say, is that equal to a 3x? And let's see what it says. It says false. All right, so that's not the answer. It doesn't matter. It says it doesn't matter if I just happen to pick the wrong numbers. It said it's always correct. So if I found one that's false, even if that's the only one, then it's not always correct. So let's go to the next one. Let's see here. We got a to the what? A parentheses a to the 4th power. And then we're going to raise that to the x power. And by the way, make sure you make your calculator look like the actual exam. You know, if the exponents are up, make sure you're up. If it's not up, all right. So is this true? It says false. So we know it's not number 2. We can cross that one off too, which is what I just did there. Cross them off. Now we're going to try the third one. This one right here. Now I know my exponent property, so I know that should be right. But I want you guys to see something here. I want to do something. I'm going to do this intentionally so that you guys can know what the issue is and how to fix it. Raise it to the x power. And then we're going to say is equal to, and it's going to be a to the x. And then it's going to be b to the x. All right. Now, excuse me, before I enter this, I want you guys to pay attention. Notice AB isn't bolded like everything else in here. Even though I stored a number for A, even though I stored a number for B, these aren't bolded. That should tell you something, but I'm going to go ahead and press enter. And I get this message. It says the message that a variable is not defined. Here's what's going on. The calculator is thinking that you're trying to create a new variable called the AB variable. And that's not what we're doing. We want it to be A times B. So I'm going to copy this and I'm going to re-enter it. But I'm going to re-enter it with the right symbols, math symbols. And I got to put parentheses here. Now, in here. Now watch what happens when I add the multiplication. They become bold again, which is what we really want. Now, the question is, now that we keyed it in right, is this true? It says yes. Now, technically we can stop, but let's go ahead and check the last one just to eliminate that one. Make sure we just weren't lucky. So the last one is AX times BY. That's messy, but let's do it. All right, so let's just key it in. So it's going to be A to the X power. So look, even if you're struggling with your exponent properties, you can still use your calculators and your abilities and things that you know about the calculator to kind of help you with this question. All right, so we're almost done. We got A. Remember, we got to put a multiplication between those two. And then we're going to put this X plus Y up here. And we press enter, and it says false. So we found our answer. So let's go here. Oops, let's go here. And we said that this right here is our answer. And that is the property. If you have an exponent outside, it's distributed to both of the exponents inside. So yeah, this is actually correct. All right, but even if you didn't remember your exponent properties, if you know how to store and just use your equal sign, you can still figure this out. That's what I need you guys. I need you guys to become better test takers. If you get stuck on something, say, is there another way for me to figure this out? And there almost always is. You just have to be patient and you got to keep trying. All right, I'm going to stop and post. This was a little longer than the other ones, but hopefully it was helpful. Okay, let's go.